Hi guys, it's Zahid here from Abbey property in Luton, and today I've got a story to share with you in regards to what happens when you let a tenant in without doing any referencing or finding out exactly who the tenant is, not getting all your compliance, etc., everything in place, and just letting anyone into the property. So today we're going to be going over all the financial implications it has, all the stress that it causes you, and how difficult it is to get the people out of the property. Follow me inside. I want to share one story with you. Sorry for the lighting here. There's no electric. We just checked it out. There's no electric inside the place. But as you come inside this property, you'll notice it's an absolute disgusting condition right now. And as you can see from the properties, it's not really well maintained since during the whole period that the tenants have stayed inside the place. Also, there's absolutely no cleaning done whatsoever on any of it. From what I can see, there's a lot of mold, etc. Everything been growing here. During all this stay, etc. From here you can see all the water's been leaking into here, and the worktops sort of disassembled from here as well. Also towards the back there's a lot of splashes on the back. Also during the stay the tenants hardly looked after this property. You can see it's absolutely terrible condition. I really don't understand how people can actually stay in a place like this whilst it's their home. So the story behind this particular property is that the landlord moved a tenant into here who was very well paying for a very long period of time. It was absolutely perfectly no issue whatsoever, as well as a leak took place from just here. So we've just got that resolved about a week ago. We've been helping out the landlord to get this property renovated and back up to sort of standard. Since the tenants left, we finally got access into the property now, and we're going to start all the refurb. So this particular landlord contacted us when he was in distress, and he's having a lot of stress with what to do with his tenancy. So we took over, got started with all the maintenance, everything that we needed to get hold of, started talking to the tenant, checking all the paperwork to see if everything was in the right order or not. Managed to serve him a notice after making sure the proper paperwork was actually in place afterwards. There was a bits or bobs that were missing that were stopping us from serving a notice. Hence, it's very, very important when you move a tenant in to get everything all in place. So what are we planning on doing? We're going to be fully having a deep clean of the property, as well as getting all of the place repainted, getting all the gloss done on all the skirting, getting all the walls painted in silk, getting a nice undercoat on here if need be. And possibly we might be looking at replacing the carpets in here as well and getting that done for the landlord. Inside the bathroom, I will try to show you. However, it's not great, the condition, due to lack of lighting. You can see for the rest of the place, we'll have to get all the rubbish cleared up in here as well, whilst we get the property up to the right standard, as well as we're going to have to, once we get all the furnishing, etc., everything removed from the place, we're going to have to do a nice deep clean in all of it as well and get it all fully repainted. I'm not sure how much of a concern this stuff is going to be. Might have to try getting it replaced, because if the water goes in there, damage is going to keep getting on worse. Need to get a replacement door for here as well, and all of this section right here as well as getting all the ceiling repainted as well, because at the moment it just looks like a bit of patchwork. So that will definitely need to be, it's an absolutely lovely area where this property is located. It's just not been maintained whatsoever by the tenant. As you can see, all this place, all that literally needs is just a bit of a jet wash, a really strong jet wash to clean it up. And after that, the property would be in a very good condition and easily rentable once all the works have been done. That's just one thing to keep in mind. If you are a tenant and you're having an issue like this, where your landlord is either not getting your repairs done or you're having some sort of dispute with the landlord, keep into consideration that although you may deem that the property is not in a good condition, the landlord can easily counteract that and say that the property was in a good condition or it was fully habitable, etc. So you need to be able to communicate with your landlord, make sure you're having regular communication via email, via phone call, text message, etc., everything, and having everything documented in regards to how your communication went ahead with the landlord, and how responsive your landlord was when getting this kind of work done. Reason why I say that is because if your landlord deliberately doesn't get the work done, you could possibly have a case. However, bear in mind that the onus would be on yourself to prove that the property was inhabitable at the time where you stopped paying your rent. And for myself, what I would personally suggest is instead of not paying the rent, it's always best to communicate with the landlord first instead, and tell them exactly what the issues are. And also, it may be the case, it might be better for you just to move out instead rather than hold back on the rent, because with this particular property here, although the tenant assumed that he was not to be paying the rent whilst he was living inside here, it's not actually the case, and the landlord will be pursuing it forward. So essentially what you're getting is you're living inside a property which is not in a great condition, first of all, and you're having to live inside here as well. And secondly, you're going to have to pay all of that rent for the last couple of months as well, during a period that you deemed that the property wasn't in a good condition. And also, one of my main concerns with tenants, one of my main concerns for yourself if you are a tenant, is that because the landlord for this particular property will be pursuing this further, the tenant will have financial implications in regards to this. So for example, when this case goes to court, the tenant will have a CCJ on his name, and we get tons of calls every single day from people who have CCJs on their name, and it causes an absolute nightmare. You can't even take out a mobile phone contract. You can never ever rent out a property. It's just absolutely impossible to take it out. You're gonna have to find guarantors, which is very long-winded, a lot of headache. So keep that into consideration. Is it really worth it? All that not having a simple bit of communication with the landlord, keeping that in place. Is it better to stay inside the property and not pay rent and have a CCJ in your name? Or is it better to say, you know what, this is the case, I don't want to live inside the property like this, and just move out of the property and you're done. So how much is it going to cost to get all of this property up to standard? So from my understanding, this section here alone is around about £300. Then you've got this internal area here, so I'd say about another £50 to £100. So how much is that? Roughly around about £400 so far already. And this room here, you've got 4 walls and a ceiling, so you're looking at another £200. So all in all, I believe roughly from my experience, around about £600, plus you've got painting as well, and all the material, the brushes, everything as well. So let's say another £100 there as well. So you're looking at a total £700 job. For the cleaning, you've got a lot of mold in here as well, and outside the decking is quite dirty as well, plus all the glass. So all of that will need full cleaning as well as jet washing from here, plus externally, like small details like this, all the windowsills. And so rubbish removal as well. Plus there's rubbish removal as well, actually, yeah. So I think for cleaning, you're looking around a lot of mold, everything inside the kitchen here as well. So you're looking around about 10 hours worth of work. So that's roughly around about £100. And then on top of that, you've got rubbish removal to be done as well. So I'd say rubbish removal on this side, you're looking around about £150 or so. So in total, you've got, how much is that, £700?
We'll tally you up in the...
Yeah, we'll tally up inside the video for you. Obviously, it's a big expense to be paid out right now, but bearing in mind is that once all its work is done, you've got a nice new tenant moving in here, and also we're going to make sure it's fully compliant, coming from a good background as well, with a good profession, just to ensure that something like this, the landlord doesn't have to experience it again. So the reason why we've done this video here is just to let you know what kind of headache it could possibly cause you if your tenant's not fully compliant. If you're not fully compliant, you haven't done all your referencing properly as well. So what we've done, we've produced a PDF, it's in the description below, that will give you a checklist of everything that you need to do to ensure that you're fully compliant when you're moving a tenant into your properties. Just click on the link below, you'll be able to download, just to make sure you're fully compliant and you're going to avoid this situation from happening to you. We're producing a lot of content recently just to help you out, helping out landlords, tenants, buyers, sellers. So if you like this content, make sure you click the like button. Our target is 500 likes for this particular video. If we can get more than that, even better. We've got more content coming out similar to this, so make sure you keep your YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button so all our videos come to you on a regular basis, and click the notification as well, so every time we upload a video, you'll be first to know about it straight away.